Hi and welcome to this screencast. First of all, I want to apologize for not being able to be in class today, but hopefully this screencast will provide you with all the information that you need. And as always, take down the notes that I'm going over on the screencast, and if you have any questions, please write those down and I will answer those in class on Monday. So we're going to try to wrap up section 3 in chapter 4 here, which dealt with which deals with the Persian Empire. So the last thing that we'll look at today is Zoroastrianism, which is their religion. So this is the Persian Empire, and the religion was Zoroastrianism. And I know that you took some notes on this the other day in preparation for the quiz, but I want to expand a little bit on those notes and try to explain those notes in a little bit more detail. As you know from the book, the founder of Zoroastrianism was a man named Zoroaster. So he was the founder. I have a picture of him here. That's this guy right here, Zoroaster. And he was a philosopher who created a book, or wrote a book called the Avesta. And in this book, the Avesta, he outlined all his ideas and his theories. The Avesta is a book that's pretty difficult to understand. It's a mix of hymns and poems. There's really no prose in there. There's no regular writing, so to speak, but it's all poems or hymns, and that's where he outlined his ideas. Zoroaster was probably born around 640 BCE. We don't know the exact dates of his birth, and we don't really know the exact death, the date of his death, but we think that he was born around 640 CE. And he basically spent his whole life preaching and teaching. And at first, things did not go well. The Persians were polytheistic, and as you should know, Zoroastrianism is a monotheistic religion. So people did not pay attention to him. Kind of going back to Amenhotep IV in Egypt, if you remember, when he tried to change Egypt to be monotheistic, people basically thought that he was crazy. And to some extent, the same thing was the case for Zoroaster. But what happened here is one person actually listened to him, and that made all the difference in the world. So at first, things did not go well. But then what happened here is that Cyrus the Great actually converted. To Zoroastrianism. He met Zoroaster, and he believed very firmly in the ideas of Zoroaster and in Zoroastrianism. And as you should be able to figure out, Anna, if Cyrus the Great, who was very well respected by not Persians but by all people, if he converted, that all of a sudden meant that a lot of people became interested in Zoroastrianism, and a lot of people converted to Zoroastrianism. So the fact that Cyrus the Great converted was kind of the turning point for Zoroaster here. So the basic idea of Zoroastrianism is that there's one God, and there's Ahura Mazda. And Ahura Mazda is engaged in a constant battle with the evil spirit Ahriman. So Ahura Mazda is in a constant battle with the evil spirit Ahriman. And the interesting thing about Zoroastrianism here is that Zoroaster argued that humans, played a very important role in this battle. So Zoroaster said that humans play an important role, and they do so through their actions. So if you did a good deed, that meant that Ahura Mazda would get stronger. But if you did a bad deed, Ahriman would get stronger. So basically, what you can see here is that Zoroastrianism provides a very good motivating tool for people to be good. Because if people are good, the God that they believe in, the good God, will triumph over the evil spirit Ahriman. But if you're bad, then that will give power to Ahriman, which will then threaten the entire world, because Ahriman could kill the true God, the good God, Ahura Mazda, and the world would come to an end. The people that believed in Zoroastrianism also believed in a judgment day. So at the end of your life, once you passed away, you would be judged based on how you had lived your life on earth. So you would stand on the bridge of judgment. And if you had been good, you would go to the house of song. House of songs. You would go to the house of song. If you'd been bad, you would go to the house of lie. So as you can see here, and you know enough about these matters, that this is very similar to the Christian version of heaven and hell, right? So if you're good, you will go to the house of song, which is, you know, the Christian equivalent there will be heaven. If you're bad, you will go to the house of lie, which would be then the Christian equivalent there. It would be hell. So that is Zoroastrianism, one of the oldest monotheistic religions in the world. Still exists today. There are several hundreds of thousands, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people, primarily in India today, that believe in Zoroastrianism. So it's still a religion that exists today. So that's the end of chapter 4, section 3. And I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas here as we start chapter 4, section 4. That will deal with China. And if we go back to where we left off in China, we talked about the Shao dynasty last. And the Shao dynasty started in 1056 BCE, but ever since about 600 BCE, it had been very unstable. And we can look at this map here that I have. This is China. All of this is China. This entire map here is China. And the Shao dynasty around 600 only controlled these yellow parts. So this part right here, there's a relatively large part right here. That's the only part that they control. All these other parts were controlled by relatives to the Shao dynasty, but not the dynasty itself. And then everything that's white around it was not controlled by the dynasty itself. So as you can see, they had very, very little control over the vast majority of China. So they had little control over China. And that's going to lead to a number of different developments that we'll look at in class on Monday. So I just want to kind of set the stage for that. And I hope that you all had a wonderful Friday and that you will have a great weekend. And if you have any questions about this screencast, do let me know. And I will see you in class on Monday.